Yes, no, maybe. I don't know. Can you repeat the question? You're not the boss of me now, and you're not so big. You're not the boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now, and you're not so big. Life is unfair.
Hey everybody, Alex the Critic here, and welcome to yet another installment of Your Theme Song Sucks.
I can't watch this. TV makes me so bored, makes me say, oh my lord, what is this garbage here? Wanna cover my eyes and plug my ears. It sucks, and that's no lie. It's about as much fun as watching paint dry. Lowers my IQ one notch, and that's the reason why I can't watch.
So, do you guys remember Sausage Party?
Yeah, you know, that R-rated animated musical about anthropomorphic food that Seth Rogen wrote? The movie where said food gets horrifically mutilated and then gets into all sorts of sexual shenanigans? The same movie that broke the record for the most money that an R-rated animated film earned at the box office?
No? Well, I don't blame you. This is one of those films that was only successful because of its novelty, and once that novelty wore off, it was banished to obscurity. I mean, seriously, can you name me more than a handful of times where anybody has talked about this film within the past decade? In fact, the only thing about this movie that people do occasionally bring up are the various controversies related to its notoriously rough production. But if you're one of the handful of people who do remember this movie, then let me ask you another question. Did you know that it has a sequel series? Not a sequel movie, a sequel series.
Yeah, in 2024, 8 whole years after the film came out, Seth Rogen managed to get some entertainment companies to agree to produce and distribute a full-fledged animated series which takes place after it. Who were the unlucky bastards who took him up on this offer? Sony Pictures Television, Annapurna Television, and Amazon. And what did they decide to call this anomaly? Sausage Party Foodtopia.
Oh, and here's a neat little factoid about Annapurna Television. They also own Annapurna Interactive, which is a video game developer and publisher. And you want to know what they were also involved with?
I want you to understand, this ain't a catastrophe, it's a warning. Daddy, if you trap me here, this will only be the beginnings of my wicked ways. 'Cause I'm angry and I'm wired and I'm fixing for a whole lot of trouble. If you make me stay here, I'm gonna burn the whole fucking place down!
That's right. This is technically the same company that brought you Mixtape. And if that doesn't scare you, then you're made of braver stuff than most people are. Now, just like the rest of you guys, I had no idea that this show even existed, and probably never would have if YouTube hadn't recommended me a kill count video that somebody made for the series. Once it did pop up on my radar, my morbid curiosity compelled me to watch the entire first season. And honestly, it's weird, man. Like, even weirder than the movie, if you can believe it. I wouldn't call it good by any means, but it's not the worst thing I've ever watched either. However, there is one aspect of the show that I can say is absolute dog shit, and that's the theme song. Let me tell you guys why that is by first giving you a super truncated summary of the first season's story.
So, the story to Foodtopia basically concerns the various foods coming together to try and rebuild civilization after basically wiping out the human race. The main action centers around our main characters trying to foil the evil schemes of Julius, an orange whose body gets manipulated by a grain of rice named Jerry Rice.
Just go with it.
Into becoming a shrewd politician who establishes a corrupt, oppressive government. There's also a subplot about the foods lacking the ability to properly preserve themselves, which leads to them teaming up with friendly humans whom they learn to control by sticking their hands up their asses.
Again, just go with it.
Oh, and remember that gay bagel played by Edward Norton? Oh wait, nobody remembers this movie. Well, anyways, he goes through a whole arc where he learns to move on with his life after his love interest gets killed in battle in the first episode.
So yeah, you'd think that with all of these plot threads in motion, the producers would have a lot to draw from when making their theme song, right? Like, maybe they could make it one huge battle scene where each of our protagonists defeats some humans in their own unique way, with information about them being posted on food packaging. Or, since this is technically a political satire, they could present it like a campaign ad, with the same bold, striking text and simple geometric 2D animation. They could even make it some lame sci-fi rap where the animators showcase the unique technology of the world that they've built. I don't know. Well, you'd be wrong, because the producers chose to do none of those things. Instead, here's what they chose to do.
Nothing! Absolutely nothing!
And if you don't believe me, then have a look at the opening for yourself. Wow, what a surprise! The cartoon that looks like it was animated on a shoestring budget has an opening that has zero thought or effort put into it. Like, what is there to even say about this? There's nothing happening here.
The opening consists of a single tracking shot wherein the camera moves past these kaleidoscope-style vignettes of our main characters before settling on this straight-ahead shot of the Earth, which is accompanied by a revolving ring of food and the blandest title card you could possibly draw up. None of this teaches me anything about the show outside of the very basic premise that the world is run by food. It might have if the producers had bothered to show us anything specific to the characters they introduced during the vignettes, or had they given us visual hints about the main plot, but nope, they just have the characters dancing. Hell, even if they did show us those things, the montage goes by way too fast for most viewers to even see them.
Hell, the producers don't even give us the names of any of these characters, and keep in mind, some of them are unique to the show. So if you're going into this show having only seen the movie, or totally blind, you're not gonna know who any of these jackasses are, nor why you should care about them. And really, a globe with food spinning around it? That was the only way y'all could think to visualize the concept of anthropomorphic food constructing a society? There's a human being in this show who has sex with a hot dog, for fuck's sake! I'm not saying that I want to see anything that gross in my cartoon openings, but that would at least be a tad bit creative, and yet you guys couldn't even manage to do that. And you know what? The musicians don't get any credit either. The song itself consists of nothing more than a generic orchestral sting that concludes with a crescendo that's accompanied by a chorus of singers shouting the word Foodtopia at us. It is just as bland and uninspired as the visuals are. And you wanna know what the worst part is? The pilot episode has a way better opening.
Yeah, the first episode begins with a monologue delivered by the Bubblegum character. You know, the one who's a parody of Stephen Hawking. During this monologue, he explains the lore of the franchise, primarily how humans and anthropomorphic food came to exist, what their relationship to one another is, and why food never rose up in self-defense before the events of the original film. All while stars from the universe hanging above him morph into relevant visual representations of these concepts that the viewer can easily follow.
He doesn't do an amazing job explaining things, but he does at least offer an explanation, which the actual theme song couldn't be bothered to. Oh, but here's the best part. This opening ends on a genuinely cool stinger.
Armed with this new knowledge, his true love, his best friends, and most importantly, bath salt, a powerful narcotic that breaks down the interdimensional wall between the two species. Food fought back.
Why couldn't the show just use this as its theme song? It has a cinematic feel to it, it gives us an actual breakdown of the universe's lore, and it even gives us real information on the show's story and characters. Oh, and for anybody who's worried that this is too long of a theme song for any cartoon to use, let me remind you that it is only 1 minute and 20 seconds long, if you don't count all of the company's splash cards that play at the beginning of every episode, so it's definitely not. As a matter of fact, there are plenty of cartoons that have openings which are just as long, if not longer, than this one. So what the hell happened? Did the suits at Amazon not like this opening, so they forced the producers to make another one? Did the producers intend on making another intro the whole time, but they simply ran out of money and assets to do it with? Either way, your theme song sucks! I'm Alex the Critic, and I'll see you guys next time.